after claiming asylum at Heathrow Airport. It was all I needed. I put scans of the documents in an email and hit send. 2 hours later, a woman rang me. She outlined the desperate need for cleaning staff. Her tone was calm, but the gravity of the situation was clear. I asked whether I would be provided with personal protective equipment, or PPE, a term I had only just become acquainted with from all my obsessive watching of the news. She reassured me that they would be taking all necessary precautions, but I was still unsure about whether I could find the courage to go through with it. Reports were coming out about how many frontline staffs were becoming infected and dying. Was I really prepared to put myself in harm's way, just at a point in my life when I thought things were becoming easier for me? Since claiming asylum in 2016, I had started to build myself a life, beautiful for its ordinariness. Despite the legacy of PTSD symptoms, claustrophobia, a constant restlessness, nightmares and flashbacks, I was trying hard to make the most of the opportunity I had been given and that so many other Syrians will never have the chance to experience. Weekends away, holidays to cities I've never seen before, walks in Epping Forest, night out with friends, fulfilling work, a future I thought I might never get a chance to have. I paused. But the voice on the phone explained that there were 5 hospitals in dire need of help, and one was Whipps Cross, the hospital just 10 minutes from my house, that I walked past almost every day, the building serving the community I had grown to know and love. My doubt evaporated. I knew I had to do it. 2 days later, I found myself standing outside. Whipps Cross is one of the oldest hospitals in London, a warren of Victorian buildings, many of them out of use. It looks like an intimidating cross between Hogwarts and an asylum. It's a place where lives change. Sick people are healed, and some of them die. On the day I arrived, there were already 12 wards full of coronavirus patients, many of them gasping into oxygen masks, others unconscious and being kept alive by tubes running deep into their lungs. Helping to look after them and keep the hospital running was an army of nurses, healthcare assistants, porters, and cleaners, many working for less than the London living wage. In a just few months, these frontline workers would become as dear to me as family members. People like Gimba and Albert and Pilar and GB and Vittorio, to name just a handful. But I didn't know any of that back then. Standing at the reception entrance, all I knew was that I had never been as terrified. Even when I had my bones broken, or been shut in a windowless cell and told I would never leave. Or when I was in a leaking dinghy full of other Syrians, including many children. Or during those afternoons when I longed for my distant parents and siblings so hard, I thought my heart might break. Perhaps it's strange to say, but none of those experiences rival the unadulterated terror I felt that morning. I had grown to fear hospitals after what happened to me in one of them in Syria. I vacillated, my heart racing, my throat dry. Could I? It would be so easy to walk away and pretend none of it was my problem. Somehow, though, I found myself stepping over the threshold, powered almost unconsciously by my strongest belief. Love triumphs over fear. The red zone. When I first went upstairs to the ward, I didn't know what that meant. I only saw a red circle on the door. The color of blood. Stoplights. Danger. Then it was explained to me that it meant that every single patient inside had coronavirus. Once you stepped through the door, you had to be wearing full PPE. This was dangerous territory. Things had to be put on in a certain order. Clean scrubs, then the thin blue gloves, then an FFP3 mask, sturdier than a surgical one.